What is up, Virgo rising gang, Virgo sun, moon, and Venus signs? Happy to have you here on my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. That is me. We're going to read your tarot cards. Couple shuffles, let's connect to your energy and also include my disclaimer, which is that you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Takeaway messages that resonate with you, speak to you, motivate you, inspire you. If you're not feeling that way, if you're feeling aggravated and not wanting to hear or receive that message, release it. Assume it's going out to someone else, okay? This is meant to inspire you and be fun. Get some helpful messages to my Virgos this week. All right, here we go. We're gonna go around the wheel and highlight some major areas in your life. Ooh, Virgo, crushing it. Starting off with the Wheel of Fortune in your house of self, your house of identity, your ego, your in a good way, the mask you wear, the way you present yourself. Yeah, the way you enter a room, so to say. There's fortune to it. There's a buoyancy. There's good luck, Jupiter energy. I like that. All right, so in terms of major astrological changes this week, Mercury, the planet of communication, intelligence, thoughts, speech, all that good stuff, technology closely related to Mercury, has moved into the sign of Gemini. Gemini is mutable air. It is in its natural rulership. The sign of Gemini is ruled by Mercury. How does that affect you? Well, first of all, Mercury is also your chart ruler if you are a Virgo rising. You as well are ruled by planet Mercury. So when Mercury is in Gemini, communication takes off very quickly, very rapidly, very fast. And with anything, there's opportunity there, but there's also the drawbacks of things getting lost in the shuffle because there's too much going on at once. So like anything, balance is always good. Where this is happening specifically for my Virgo risings is in your house of career, long-term public image, and your external life versus things that go on in the home and seclusion in your private life. This is more you out in the world. So it actually makes sense. There's going to be a lot of action with you being out in the world, presenting yourself. Again, happening in your 10th house, which has to do with your career. There just could be a lot of messaging, you know. Gemini is very closely tied to sales and business. So if that's something you do for a living, you may have a lot more bookings, a lot more clients, a lot more meetings, a lot more, I'm hearing the word marketing for some reason. So if that's what you do, double down on that. And as trivial as it may seem, you may just get flooded with a shit ton of emails or something. And I know that seems like, well, I have that every day. Yeah, but with Mercury and Gemini, you're going to have a lot more of it. So plan accordingly. And again, it's not a negative or a positive. It just simply is. That's what happens when Mercury is in Gemini. It manifests a lot more communication. And sometimes that's good, right? If you're hopping on dating apps, you're probably going to be messaging a lot more, right? So where this placement is going, and by the way, Venus will be headed into Gemini as well in the next week or so. I think it actually may be sooner than that, of course, depending on when you watch this, but the sign of Venus, love, balance, harmony, beauty, art, money, will be headed into Gemini as well. So again, if you work in sales, that's going to be fantastic. But even the sign of Venus transiting your 10th house of career, money opportunities are going to look good. And it is also trining Saturn's placement, trining being just a positive aspect in astrology, things that work hand in hand, things that are agreeable, work well together. With Saturn, which is a planet of responsibility, a planet of sort of hunkering down to do the work, commitment, that sort of a vibe is what Saturn brings. There's a lot of that going on right now in your house, your 6th house of daily routines, which are related to your house of long-term kind of public career stuff, because what you do in the short term adds up in the long term. So by doing even what you may consider the mundane tasks or the everyday, which I mean, you're Virgo rising, so that's naturally a house you're associated with anyway, but being very organized, very diligent, very, it's funny, I'm hearing hands in all pots, but I guess being multitasking maybe is a better way of putting that. You may have an offer coming in or a good connection to money right now. Saturn being there, again, it's not a curse, but it's also not a blessing. It's just an area of your life that quite literally says we need to be responsible. We need to take this very seriously. So Saturn is a planet that has sort of a slower transit than, say, Mercury or Venus or the Sun, which spend about a month in each zodiac sign, roughly, give or take. Saturn spends about 2.5 years in each zodiac sign. So Saturn has been in Aquarius, your 6th house, Virgo rising, for a bit of time now. I think it moved, I want to say it moved into Aquarius earlier this year, like very early on. So it has been there for a while. This is not news. This is the same energy that you've been experiencing. I will say though, with Saturn, there is where you dedicate yourself, you will see return on that effort. You will see return on that investment. It's not always the most fun time. Saturn is not the life of the party. Saturn is more like the authoritarian, the taskmaster, like, hey, did you do the work? If you do the work and hunker down and do it, something beautiful will come. And so I said the same thing to my Capricorn risings because they have Saturn in their house of money right now. It's what you make of it. Your attitude will make a huge difference. But if you are sort of, I would even say, again, it sounds trivial, but struggling with just like everyday monotony, the everyday routine, which even if in previous, years you've excelled and like you're great at organization and this and that, there may have been some sort of news, again, not necessarily arriving this week, but some sort of news that impacted your ability to do things very swiftly and smoothly and with ease. Saturn, again, sitting in that house, it's not there to disrupt. It's there to make you grow and become better at it. So again, how you look at this will make a world of difference, but I do like this coming through. This is a good offer. This is a knight who loves progress. So you will see progress in that daily routine if that is something you're struggling with. Same goes for your health. My Virgo, even my Virgo suns, but even my Virgo risings, especially my Virgo risings, if you've been struggling with an issue in your health, you may have made some progress in that area, in that recovery, in that even, long-term medical issues that, you may have always lived with them, right? You may have a bout of, because this is a trining aspect, there's something positive happening, you may feel good in the next few weeks, especially if you struggle with depression. Saturn is very associated with kind of this heavy energy. It's not always that. Again, there's always an end point to when Saturn is sort of coming down on you in that area of life. But yeah, there's good progress being made with the Knight of Pentacles, very much a Virgo card. So yeah, this says to me, if you show up in this area of your life, if you take on the responsibility that the universe more or less is imposing on you, you have free will in how you deal with it, but essentially Saturn is here for a year, so you got to show up. That's simply what this is saying, and you will see the reward of that. Yeah, again, Wheel of Fortune starting out this reading. This is great. I don't mean to layer you with these heavy messages because so far this actually looks really good. But I guess I want to focus on areas where I can help you, not just tell you, oh, sunshine and rainbows. So this says, again, do the work and you will see the results from it, especially this week. And you may even receive some sort of reward or positive communication from an authority figure who maybe you feel at odds with. With the Seven of Cups, there could be some sense of just confusion about where you stand with someone. With Mercury coming into that house again of Gemini, your public image, your career, your authority, even if something with your father potentially. With Mercury coming into that position, there could be more clarity. The mind, the intelligence, communication, especially with Gemini, it's like, I'm going to tell you everything on my mind, not just one thing. And it's not all bad. Again, the trining aspect, you may be offered some very positive feedback for the work you've been doing. If before you were like, well, gosh, did I do it right? Did they like that presentation? Am I meeting my mark? Like, if there's confusion about your long-term image, your career, where you stand in the career world, there may be some clarity coming there. Again, if you've been putting in the work. If you've been slacking off, this may manifest as this guise, this illusion, this deceit of, oh, I'm doing everything fine. I'm flying under the radar. Well, that might not be so. Now, because you're Virgo rising, I have a pretty good guess that most of you are absolutely showing up and doing the work. If anything, I think this is relief. I think this is, there's clarity that comes into you in the coming weeks, and I think it's positive. The North Node is sitting in Gemini, so something about this says to me, like, you're right on track. You're moving towards your destiny, even though it may not always feel like it, right? Saturn, it's a heavy, oppressive energy sometimes. But I would argue it is highlighting the area in which you need to grow and develop the most right now. And again, this is a yearly thing. It will change next year, or every 2 years, I should say. But anyway, what I'm getting at is you will see more reward the more effort you put in. But because it's sitting in your house of health, we also have to remember balance. right? Where are you sacrificing your own health, your mind, body, and spirit to deliver the goods and work? Universe does not want you to kill yourself to do this. I need you guys to understand that. This is not about putting all your eggs in one basket and sacrificing, again, your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health. That is of the utmost importance with Saturn sitting there. So again, it's an area of your life that is requiring you to be very serious and to keep showing up and doing the nitty-gritty work. From that, beautiful reward will come. All right, let's talk about relationships a little bit here. I just keep wanting to highlight blessings. The blessing. Mars is going into your 11th house of friendships, your presence within groups, larger groups of people, even your online presence. You may be very gung-ho and sort of I would even say with Mars, impulsive, very like, yeah, let's do it now. Mars moves very quick. It's very leadership oriented. It's very pioneering. It's very confident. But it can also be a little bit aggravated. It can be a little bit intense. It's the side of your personality right now that is just like, go, 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 like an athletic coach or something. That's fine. That's good. You have a very positive tarot card showing up, especially if you were very good friends with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. There could be a sexual connection with an earth sign who may be a group, maybe in your group of friends. If not, it could result in argument, right? Mars has a sexual connection to it, but also has sort of a very male, very masculine side of our personality, a go-getter, and I'll be honest, ego. Ego is very much attached to that. So that can be touch and go. Again, I don't want to over-repeat messages from last week, but Mars doesn't love to be in Cancer. It's in the zodiac sign of Cancer for the next month or so. And so I love that the King of Pentacles is showing up. There could be money opportunities with friends, but to me it says you have to get it. You have to jump on it because Mars doesn't wait for you to catch up. So especially if you are more practical, more conservative, more steady, slow and steady wins the race. Usually I would say, yeah, you're right. Some opportunity within a group of friends may present itself, and that specific opportunity with friends, not so much business related, but maybe they're connected. It's something that you got to jump on it then and there because it may pass you by. And I never do fear-based readings. In fact, I rarely say that. I do essentially believe what is meant to be yours will be. But when opportunity presents itself and it seems good, fact check with Mercury and Gemini. But with Mars, if it's like the train is leaving and you want to be on that train, you're gonna have to chase it then. You know what I mean? Yes, I don't know. That could go multiple ways. Mars doesn't love to be in Cancer. I think I've been giving this metaphor, which seems to make sense to me. I hope it doesn't sound lunatic to you. It's sort of like when you run into the ocean waves. Mars is like, yes, go, chasing, fast, speed, agility. But when you start getting deeper and deeper into those ocean waves, there's resistance there. So you can only run so fast. And that's sort of a good metaphor to me for Mars and Cancer. It's there and it can do its job, but not to the best of its ability. I mean, quite literally, Mars is related to Aries, a fire sign, and Cancer is water. It's fire and water. Those two are not like, we love each other. This is easy. It can be an aggravated relationship, but it doesn't have to be, again, if you use your skills of communication, your negotiation, that sort of thing. So yin and yang, balance, that sort of thing. I guess I started there because that does have to do with relationships. Some of you, there's pregnancy for you. With the Empress coming up in your 12th house, which frequently represents the gestation period, is that the correct term? If your rising sign is the moment you took your first breath and entered the world, first house, Virgo risings, your 12th house has a lot to do in metaphor with your mother's experience carrying you in the womb. But because there is a pregnant mother showing up there, that might be for some of you out there. It could also just be news of that coming out, some news that has been hidden if there's pregnant. And I don't mean to scare you. I'm not saying it's your partner, for all you out there. It wouldn't be that. Maybe your cousin is pregnant, or maybe your best friend is pregnant, or something like that. There could be hidden news of pregnancy that comes out in the coming weeks or months. Yes, we're going to talk about your love life. Here's why I've been putting it off, because this looks a little bit sad, but it looks like some work has been done to do some healing. Now, that's in long-term committed partnerships. There may be some healing due, and I'll be honest, especially if you're already married, you know if you're on the brink of divorce. You know that, right? I think this represents you guys probably had a big fight, and it required a little bit of nurturing to heal those wounds. There may still be feelings of someone being slighted, but you're willing to have the conversation and try and bridge the gap. It's a 3, and especially with 3 of Swords, to me, it's like there's an imbalance here. It's like someone was giving too much and someone was taking too much, and so maybe it's just like leveling out the playing field a little bit. I don't love it. You have Neptune sitting in your 7th house, and I mean, again, Neptune is a huge generational planet. It's not going to be it's not going to be heightened in a personal way for you because it's going to spend years in that area of your life, but it is falling in your house of partnerships, long-term committed ones. So in a positive vibe, Neptune offers a very dreamy, fairy tale-like, creative, intuitive, artistic thing. But it's hard to pin it down. It can be very, it just slips through your fingers quite easily because it doesn't like to put things in a box. And Virgos, by nature, love that, in a sense, right? In certain areas of your life, organization and categories and breaking things down into pieces and understanding how they fit. Neptune Pisces energy is sort of the exact opposite. Like, let's just all just get along. Let's just mix this and that, and because like I'm literally seeing finger painting. Like, it's messy. Some of you are like, oh, that sounds awful. So that's what I mean. In your relationships right now, there may be struggle, but it doesn't mean it's the end all be all. Neptune can be fickle because it brings a sense of illusion or confusion or mystery. But with that, you may have things helping you out. Like Mars in Cancer right now, there's a beautiful trine aspect. So something about either that sexual energy, maybe it's repressed sexual energy or something. Maybe you just need to heal things in your sex life, right? Those two are working together in a positive aspect. And I mean, I guess you could argue, actually that's not correct. Sorry, the South Node is in Sag. I'm not even going to go there. But when planets transit the sign of Scorpio, that is also helping you. So, it's good to think about these things. In terms of, it's not all a death sentence. It's not all a prison sentence. You have a lot of things helping you in addition to forcing you to grow and develop. And that's why we're here, right? Jupiter is about to help expand that area of your life too. So expansion in any type of long-term committed contracts, even bountiful, plentiful, fortuitous contracts at work, that might be coming into you as Jupiter moves into Pisces, I believe around the 13th of May, and it will be there for about a month, and I think it goes retrograde. So again, there's yin and yang. It's not all a party, but it's not all bad news either. Something needs to be healed or fixed in a long-term partnership. People are feeling some type of way and maybe haven't expressed it, or they have, and then there's that period where you both are kind of like mad at each other. But I don't know. 3 of Swords is not my ending card. In fact, this is just the beginning. And I don't think it's just the beginning of a lot of struggle. It's just you've had your first fight, or you've reached a milestone in differing opinions. And so, yeah, it had to come to a forefront. Maybe that's how Mars is helping you. It's all how you look at it. Mars in Cancer, it can provoke your emotions in a very stimulated, aggressive way. But if it's to help you heal a marriage, isn't that good? Right? Just putting it out there. All right, in terms of dating, for my Virgo risings or Virgo, anybody showing up to this reading, yeah, the dating love life just this week, it's not looking fantastic. I have to be honest. I wouldn't want to steer you wrong and promise you things that aren't here. I think your growth of identity, your sense of self is growing. I like that a lot. But with that, you may be making decisions, I'm hearing the word discerning, on who you're willing to put effort and energy into, on what relationships you value the most. You do have the 7 of Cups showing up in Gemini, which again has a lot to do with personal relationships and interpersonal, right? Your relationship signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. There might be a need to release the idea of what you thought something was going to be and to embrace more what it actually is. The 7 of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles, I think you're putting this indecision behind you, or the need to hold on to something when really it's just adding more struggle and stress to your life. A lot of you are sort of coming to the realization that something you were holding on to, whether it was a person or a relationship or just anything really, you felt the need to hold on to it and cling to it, but I think in time you're kind of like, but why though? Like, why am I doing this? And is it worth it? Am I enjoying the process, or is it a hassle? For a lot of you, again, that illusion, that mystery is being revealed of the situation or the problem where you're like, oh, I suddenly have clarity of what I want to invest my time in. And for some of you, you're like, and it ain't this anymore. So I don't know if you're necessarily juggling people. I don't know if it's necessarily that. But yeah, there's something here where you liberate yourself from this sort of mental prison. That's what's showing up in your dating life this week. 8 of Swords, right? We all kind of know this card if you follow tarot. It's not my favorite card, and I mean, that's not a personal slight against you. It's just, it indicates that our thoughts are very troubling or giving us pause, giving us difficulty. We might be telling ourselves things or ideas that aren't necessarily the most positive, optimistic, bright outlook. It's more just like, it's almost like this is my life and I accept it and I'm stuck here and I'm not happy, but that's how it goes for me. Well, that's a terrible attitude, right? The thing is, I think there is liberation here. And what's interesting about this, usually the Eight of Swords, I always say, it's self-imposed prison. It's self-imposed conflict, because you have the ability to change your thoughts and change your mind. It's not about ignoring the truth, but it honestly, it's about choosing happiness. It's about choosing to see the silver lining or glass half full, because there's always a way that you can choose to view it in a more positive light. And I say it, this person, the situation. Here, I would almost argue, I don't dislike this. I think it might be saying, where do you need to be an advocate for yourself, and and whom can you ask for help from? Have you been shy in sharing your feelings or your thoughts or your desires? For some of you, this could just be repressing that thing you really want to try with your partner because you're not sure how it's going to land with them. Never live your life in fear. This is very much a card of living your life in fear of, oh, well, what happens if I do this, and shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and a lot of like, oh my God, like casting dark clouds upon your future before they're even there. So we have to stop doing that. Yeah, for some of you, this is not a huge deal. This is expressing something to your partner that you desperately need to express to them in order to feel alive, to thrive. Some of you may be connecting with a Scorpio, dating-wise. I don't know. I almost feel like this person is actually not going to have this intense reaction that you're fearing. These two are very much related. Whether you're dating or in long-term partnership or married, that's kind of the vibe this week. There's some healing and conversation that needs to take place. But by suppressing those ideas or desires, who is that helping? It's, it's taking a toll on your mental capacity. And so this area of your life is actually, again, just in the coming weeks or so, it might sort of be at an awkward exchange, because Mercury is in Gemini, which it doesn't oppose it, but it comes close to it. It's what's called a quincunx angle. I know that sounds so gross, but it's called quincunx. It's angles that these planets or these houses really are making. It's 150 degrees and it's awkward. It's not 180. It's not opposite. It's not squaring. It's not. We like trines. We like sextiles. Sometimes we like conjunctions on top of each other. This one, it's like awkward. I would say the conversation that needs to be had is awkward, but that's no reason to avoid it, because you're just going to end up with this. To be honest, I see this as having a necessary conversation, and you bust free. You liberate yourself. So no matter what the end result is, you're going to feel better by expressing your truth. Some of you, there could be an offer being made that someone isn't ready to accept. It's possible, especially with another Virgo, by the way. And I don't know who's who. You may be expressing interest in someone and they're like, listen, I like you, but it's not like that for me. Or the opposite. Someone may be like, hey, so we going to go out again? And you're like, oh yeah, this is awkward because I don't really want to, Again, these are weekly readings. I'm sorry, Virgo. I'll give you a couple more. Anything else high vibe I can tell Virgo about their dating life right now? So when Venus, I am going to talk about your dating life. This is just a good news, so I'm going to share it with you. When Venus enters the sign of Gemini, which I think is happening in a few days, that is going to form a positive aspect. The planet Venus will have a positive aspect to your house of money, and because Venus is a sign that represents money, luxury, wealth, spending, what you assign value to. Yes, it also has to do with your love life. Again, what you value in a person and relationships. Something positive could come from that. You may, in fact, have two opportunities that come near or close to the same time, possibly involving a money deal or some sort of project or something that would positively impact your finances. You may get two at once. Some of you, your pregnancy, you may get news that there's an expansion of what you thought you were getting, and it may actually end up with twins. Or that may happen, again, to someone in your life, in your family or something like that. Anyway, dating. Anything else I can tell them about dating? Stand your ground. Stand in your power. Don't diminish your power by telling yourself negative things about yourself or about your life. Honor yourself and know that even if there's a bittersweet ending or something that, again, you may have wanted, but it just didn't happen for some reason, not to say it could never happen, but have faith that you're a manifester, Virgo. Virgo rising. Sorry. I was looking at this and thinking Gemini, but you may have Gemini in your chart for all I know. This represents Mercury, the master manifester. Creation and communication is your way out of this little debacle or pickle. Don't be afraid to express your truth and say what you actually mean, because it'll weed out the riffraff a lot faster. And some of you, it's like you've given away the power of your voice. And yeah, Virgo, no, absolutely not. We're not going to do that. Like, first of all, you're ruled by Mercury. The power of your voice is everything. It's like your life force. My Virgo risings, it is your chart ruler, Mercury. Your connection to planet Mercury is very important. It's very strong. And so, yeah, where are you passing off your voice? Where are you allowing yourself to be silenced? And where are you going to stop doing that? Where are you going to fix it? You have all the tools on your table, right? Or floating in the air in this case, in this card, right? This is, you have everything you need to make this a win or a victory or a success. But you need to believe that, or else all is lost, right? You know, what you believe is what you manifest, so you may as well turn the table, and even if you have to feign happiness for a little bit, well, that's what you're going to get on the other end of this, so why not? You have nothing to lose. A lot of you may be connecting with a Gemini or a Virgo, or again, something about a Scorpio keeps coming up to me. There could be an argument about kids. Some of you may just literally be fighting with your child. Some of you are, yeah, okay, so if this isn't twins, there could be news of a second child coming. And it might actually be quite a surprise. Excuse me. There may be news of an unexpected pregnancy or a second child, really, is what I'm getting here. And obviously for most of you, it's a beautiful blessing and you are going to be excited, but there may be a like, oh my God, do we have the money to do this? Like, there's an initial like, oh my goodness, did we just put ourselves in prison by doing this? Most of you, this is going to be a very joyous experience and offering. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, something with children or students may be factoring in here. If that's what you do for work, there could be some, connection with a, I don't know, like another teacher. And I'm not suggesting like teacher-student relationships. You know, if you work as a professor, you may connect with someone at that institution. The fifth house is very much tied to children. So yeah, there's potential of a pregnancy. There may be arguments about starting a family. Yeah, this doesn't look amazing, so it is. This week is kind of meh. Please don't take that personally. I'm not criticizing you. I gotta be a girl of my word. I can't tell you what I don't see, so I gotta take a drink of water. Sorry, guys. All right, last but not least, we'll go around the zodiac sign one more time. If you are interested in dating, should we switch decks? I guess not. There might be a revival of something, especially from someone you knew in your youth, someone you knew growing up. If you've already connected with them once in a more intimate romantic sense, that might be coming back around. Yeah, you may end up marrying that person. All right, here we go. You may reconnect at some sort of social gathering or family gathering, a barbecue, something like that. All right. If you're dealing with a Virgo, contracts. Yeah, you may end up marrying this one, or you may end up divorcing. Something about a contract with a Virgo. It could be your work life, too. Or there may be a Libra coming in between the two of you. If you are dealing with a Libra, yeah, interesting. I'm so sorry, you guys. My voice is just... One more swig of water, and then we'll get into it. Because I don't want to be coughing the whole time. My goodness. Okay. Hold on. Let me throw something on death, because that could be a whole lot. Okay, here's what I think. I think this is transforming into something much bigger. If there's wish fulfillment tied to this in any way with a Libra, I think those wishes are starting to come true. Especially if that Libra is cuspy with Scorpio. Yeah, I think the death card here is not a bad thing. I don't think it's an ending. Unless you're with a Libra that you're hoping to divorce and you're so desperately hoping to sign the divorce papers, then yes, because there's wish fulfillment there, right? If that's not your story. This is transformation into something much bigger. If you are dealing with a Scorpio, news. I was going to say new news. Gosh, something about that feels like pregnancy too. Yeah, with the card of fatherhood showing up, there could be a pregnancy with the Scorpio. If not, there just could be a new connection with a Scorpio, very much Mars energy here. So again, potentially sexuality, sometimes control issues, someone who maybe is very serious about this. And yeah, I don't dislike this. There's definitely communication showing up with a Scorpio. So Sagittarius is traveling. They're looking around. They're seeing what their options are. They're very warm. They're very flirtatious. They have a childlike spirit or a childlike innocence that is very attractive and fun. But this is early on. So I think it's like, don't project this to be anything that it is. Enjoy it for what it is right now with the Sag. If you are dealing with a Capricorn, Yeah, I think they're willing to receive your offer. You know, I don't know. There's something about, like, the first thing I got from this is, do I really want this, or can I do better? And I don't mean to offend. Yeah, I feel like you offered something to a Capricorn and they're willing to receive it, but they have doubt or they start to second guess it. Again, communication would be key to fix this. Communication will solve almost anything, right? Can we just agree to that? And I understand everybody's like, oh, it's complicated. I can't. You don't understand. Well, then that means you don't mind being put in this place much longer because, there's something that's like not being said, but I feel like intuitively, energetically, psychically, you both kind of feel like something needs to be discussed here. Okay, if you're dealing with an Aquarius, victory, forward movement. You will probably go on a trip with them. You may visit them. You may just be spending a lot of time at their home. You may end up meeting their siblings. I actually like that a lot. Especially if they have a sibling who is a Cancer or their mother or someone who's very close to them is a Cancer, you may end up meeting that person. Or you may meet an Aquarius through your Cancer friend. If you are dealing with a Pisces, man, Pisces is having an off week in other people's readings. Every time I get to Pisces, I'm like, what's going on here? I feel, did they make an offer to you and you're not sure if you want it? Yeah, you have options or the Pisces has options. So honestly, it's like you both are second on the list. So whichever way this goes, if you're romanticizing a Pisces, it's not to say they're not interested, but they're definitely keeping someone else warm. If that's the case, more than likely they're keeping you warm or you're keeping the Pisces warm, because I think there's someone else that it's like they're in the number one slot, but if it doesn't work out, they'll go to number two. And I don't know, that feels kind of shitty, which I know people do that, but I don't know. It seems kind of, I don't know, meh. If you're willing to wait and see what pans out, it could be great. But yeah, that's what this could be too. A lot of like not third party, but like you understand what I mean. There might be too many players right now to get a distinct message there. If you were dealing with an Aries, they're blocked. They're shut off right now. They're not communicating. If you're dealing with a Taurus, yeah, they're good. There may have been like I just heard ceasefire. If you were arguing, there's been new resolve. There's been new results there. And I don't know, this person may have been grappling with difficult decisions regarding their job or their work, but they seem to be high on the totem pole now, or however you want to say it. This is like the high version of Taurus, the highest vibration, the King of Pentacles. A king, right? A lot to offer, a lot to give. Has a lot of value and self-worth and self-respect. I like it. I'm digging the Taurus energy this week. If you were dealing with a Gemini, which was showing up everywhere in your reading, I feel. Okay, so it's either a reunion and happy socialization, but again, keep in mind there might be options there, especially with a Pisces. It doesn't have to be. Generally speaking, I love the Three of Cups, but it's not exclusive. This is like, yeah, let's grab coffee and see what's up. Let's like catch a vibe for each other. But it might be meeting among groups of people where it's not going to be intimate, but you could still kind of flirt and have some witty banter with the Gemini. If you're dealing with a Cancer, Ten of Pentacles, yeah, put a ring on it, marry it. With the King of Pentacles showing up as well, you have very strong energy right now with Taurus and Cancer. I like that quite a bit. So just make sure they're not married, right? And then if you're dealing with a Leo, last but not least, Knight of Cups, yeah, I think this Leo is interested and will probably present you with an offer or continue to charm you and romance you. Yeah, making lighthearted, dreamy offers. Very hopeless romantic vibe with the Leo this week. So, all right, Virgo risings and Virgo people out there of all kinds. That's what I got for you. Remember to like the video, please. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would really appreciate that. And if you want to enter to win a free tarot contest, I will tell you about those contest rules right now. What's up, guys? This is a friendly reminder to submit your name if you are looking to throw in a submission to the Win a Free Tarot reading from me, the Intuitive Teacup. There will be 3 winners announced on May 9th, and in order to submit your entry, I am asking that you leave a comment on any video of your choice here on my channel. Has to be one of my videos. Listing the 3 qualities you admire most about yourself, 3 qualities you find very likable or desirable, 3 things that you're proud of about yourself. So loyalty, trustworthy, creative, funny, compassionate, any of those things. It's up to you. Leave those 3 descriptor words, and next to it, I want you to include the hashtag Team Teacup. That's just simply to let me know that you're entering your name for the competition and not just leaving a random comment. So yeah, that is what you're being asked to do. One comment is one submission. You can submit as many times as you would like, aka leave as many comments as you want. They can be the same descriptors, different ones. That's entirely up to you. So there will be 3 winners. If you are a winner, I will comment on your comment as well as announce your name on my channel and my Instagram. From there, we will message privately and you will be allowed to submit one question you would like me to answer. And that's that. It's pretty easy, pretty basic. Of course, if you are not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do that. It really does help me. And I welcome you to join me over on Instagram because that was sort of the brainchild of this contest anyway. I reached 1,000 subs on Instagram, which is great. I love interacting with you guys there, and it allows me to do things here on YouTube that I can't. So welcome you to follow me over there or on Facebook. It's not necessary. It's not required to enter the competition, but you do need to submit to my YouTube channel or subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, that's about it. So I look forward to announcing the winner Sunday, May 9th, so make sure you enter before then.